John, working with the ladies team this year, Ulster champions, it's been a good year. Just let's talk about your role within the team, because the last night I was up here, Davy McLaughlin was saying about how important your role has been. Just explain to us what exactly do you do with them?
Well, my interest and my passion is obviously from a background in Gaelic games, and coupled with that I have a passion for, performance coaching and helping people to manage their emotions in difficult situations. And it doesn't matter what that performance state will be, whether that be in a work environment or whatever. But sport is at the cutting edge of this, and that's where my real interest is. So there are very learnable skills that individuals can get, and then couple that with the synergies that you can get with the team is where my real interest is. And it just creates an environment that allows the girls to perform to the best of their ability on every given day. Now, there's no guarantees with this, Charlie, and it doesn't guarantee wins.
It's not a perfect science, John.
Absolutely not. And what you're doing is looking to create the best possible environment so the individuals can perform to the best of their ability, and then the team collectively, so that if we're all singing off the same hymn sheet, well, then it can make a difference. It's like the oil in the engine, Charlie, as Davy often says. He wonders what it is exactly, but that's what it is. And I would talk quietly to the girls and then have the occasional group session with the team, particularly before the matches, so we have open conversations.
Is this a particularly important aspect for an amateur sport, given that the girls are all dealing with other things in their lives, John, but how important the football is to them as part of their life?
Yeah, I think that's very true, Charlie, because they all have competing demands in whether a lot of the girls here are students and they're studying at the moment, and some have exams coming up. So for them to balance all of those needs, and they have relationships that they have to manage, and whether that be trying to keep part-time work at home or whatever. So they've all of these competing demands, and it's about managing all of those demands so that when they come to cross the white line on any given Sunday, that they're in the best possible state that they can be in, and just to be attentive to that. And that's what we've managed to do well with the ladies, is pay attention and put a light on all of these issues. That just is mindful of them and their needs and the pressures that they have, so that we can allow them to perform to the best of their ability for the county when it comes to the big matches.
And the longer you work with them, John, would it be too simplistic to say the better you get to know them, and obviously if there's a little thing maybe not right with them mentally, it's easier to spot once you're working as closely as you have been with them?
Yeah, well, I think that you have to build high levels of trust with the players and with everybody associated with the team, so that the players and the management begin to see the benefit of the sciences that we know, that can add value to performance.
Yes.
And I think it's building high levels of trust that does make the difference. So then there's an acceptance then on the language we create that can deal with issues. And if somebody has an issue, then it's dealt with within the group very positively, So we'll be just attentive to their moods and the importance of that and how that feeds into their performance as well,
It's worked well so far to get us to an Ulster title, John. We're working beyond that now. Is it a different mindset now? The Ulster title's parked away. We've moved into the All-Ireland series, or do we just work along the same lines?
Oh no, it's absolutely as we are. We've been building it up, and we now begin to recognise as a group that paying attention to everything. And this only has its place, Charlie. I emphasise that. It's not the be-all and end-all, and I think it's recognising that it has its place. But if we continue to do what we're doing in the mindset that we are, we know that we're capable of dealing with any challenges that can come up. And if that delivers the outcome, well and good. If it doesn't, well and good. But by allowing ourselves to get into that place, we dramatically increase the probability of us achieving the goals that we have set for ourselves, So I suppose, what we've learned from the business world, and that's where my background is, having worked many's a long year in the banking world and in the business environment. So it's cross-pollinating the skills from both worlds. And I think that both the business world has a lot to gain from what the sporting high-performance athletes or performance teams are at. And I think also vice versa, that teams can benefit from goal setting and planning that would be undertaken in a business environment. So it's a combination of both, right, that adds value,